What's up, folks? It's Dan here from BeAGameCharacter.com, where we turn games into games. And today we are going to go over hip strength, hip stability, and just general overall lower body joint health. Okay? So something that I ran into relatively recently was I developed IT band syndrome in my left leg, which means my IT band is super tight and it rolls over my knee and it causes all sorts of unpleasant sensations when it does so. One of the things, in fact the main thing that's recommended for this, is to strengthen the stabilizers in your hip region. And because the reason your IT band gets basically irritated is it's trying to overcompensate for a lack of muscular stability in the region. So what I've been doing is I've been developing sort of a little program to increase my own stabilization strength. I should preface this by saying I am not a physical therapist, I am not a doctor, I'm a personal trainer. This is not what you should do if you get IT band syndrome. Instead, this is what I do to develop hip strength and hip stability as a reaction to the fact that I got IT band syndrome. Okay, so don't use this as a substitution for actually going and seeing a doctor, a physical therapist, all that good stuff. But this is a great routine to do even if you don't have anything actually wrong with yourself, just because increasing stability of your hip stabilizers is a very, very good idea for everyone, regardless of what you do. Running, athletic stuff, lifting weights, just existing. For this, all you're going to need is a couple of resistance bands. You can even get by with just one. I like two because I'll set one up in one spot and one up in the other, which you'll see in a bit. But you want to start real light and easy. This is a medium strength band from the set that I got, and it was like super cheap. I think it was like $10 for the whole set. It came with like, I think 6, 2 of each color. So yeah, so you just want 2 of these. You want to start with the lightest setting and work your way up to heavier. I'm on medium right now, and we'll talk about that in a bit. So to start out, if you're working with 2 of these, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take one and you're going to want to tie it into a loop. And you're going to want to take your other one and you're going to want to tie it around a solid object. Now once you've got those ready to rock, we're going to start off with our first exercise. So for our first exercise, all we're going to do is we're going to take the band and we're going to loop it around our legs like that. And if you want, I find sometimes in order to help keep it in place, adding a little twist in there is good. Also, some of these will come with Velcro straps that you can use to strap to your ankles. And you're going to put it around your ankles, all right? You're going to turn your toes slightly outwards, and what you're going to do is you're going to walk sideways, back and forth with a good knee bend. You're going to kind of step as far as you can while still being comfortable, and then bring your foot to each other. It's going to look like this. So you're going to step out to the side, all right, and bring your feet together. Like that, and you go back the other way. And what you want to do is you want to step basically 10 to 15 times on each leg. That's going to be our repetition count for all of these. I do them in a circuit, so I'll do this exercise for 10 to 15 repetitions, move immediately on to the next exercise, 10 to 15 repetitions of that, and so on and so forth, until I finish doing all the exercises once. Then I take a break for a bit, and I repeat that 3 times. So it's a circuit, 10 to 15 repetitions for each exercise, 3 times, but you can do it up to 5 times as you want. So again, first exercise in the circuit is just sideways steps, like that, with a resistance band around your ankles, like so. And then if you want, you can even kick it up to your knees as well. It's going to be a different lever point. You're going to be able to step a little bit wider, and you're going to feel that a little differently. When you do this, you can keep your toes basically straight ahead, especially in the knee one. If you, when you're doing the ankle one, you can turn your toes out a little bit. It might be a little more comfortable for you. From there, you're going to keep the band around your ankles. You're going to lie on your side, and you're going to do leg lifts like that. Now this is, if you watch any like the 50s fitness videos or even like later, like 60s and 70s, this is a big exercise among the housewives of America. But you're going to lift up basically as high as you comfortably can and back down again, and you're going to do that 10 to 15 reps, and then you're going to switch over to the other side and do the other leg. All right. Once you have finished your leg lifts, you're going to bring the band up to your knees, and you're going to put your feet together like this, and you're going to do clamshells. Up and close. You open and close your knees just like a clam. Up and down again. like so. And again, 10 to 15 reps per leg on that. Once you're done with those, while you're down here on the floor, you're going to take the band off. And then if you're just starting out, you're going to do regular hip raises like this. All right, once those get super easy, you're going to lift one leg in the air and do them like so. All right, and you're going to work both sides, 10 to 15 repetitions if you're doing the single leg, or if you're doing the double leg, you just do 10 to 15 like that. Basically, all those exercises worked our hip adductors, the things that make your legs pull apart in various ways. Now we're going to work on the adductors, the things that make your legs rotate and pull inwards, okay? So this is where we come over to our stationary band that we have wrapped around an object. You're going to put your leg through, all right? You're going to keep it straight, and you're going to plant the other leg on the ground, but keep a decent flex on it. And if you need to use your hands to brace, you can, but ideally what you want to do is you want to get to the point where your stable leg is the thing stabilizing you completely. You're going to stick your leg out straight like this, and you want to get it to the point where basically it's outside your body line with tension, like that. So right there is where the resistance band starts to pull on my leg, and I'm just going to bring it forward like that in front of the other leg. And you want to do 10 to 15 reps of this, and you may find you need a different band difficulty for the stuff that you did before versus the stuff now. That's part of how you'll understand whether or not you have a muscular imbalance, all right? So you're going to do 10 to 15 reps of that, and then you're going to switch to the other leg, and then you do 10 to 15 reps on the other leg. Once you are done with those, you're going to bring it up to knee height, all right? And you're going to pick your knee up like this, all right? You want to try and get your knee hanging at almost a 90-degree angle. Notice how it's nice and flat here, all right? If you want, you can do this while sitting on a chair, but personally I find it's a lot better standing. And on this one, you might even start without the resistance band. But what you want to do is you want to step outside again to where basically your leg is extended and you've got just the beginning of tension on the resistance band, and you're just going to pull in. 1, 2, 3. And you want to make sure that you are controlling the motion the whole time as you're pulling in and back out again. All right, so 10 to 15 reps of that. So we have 10 to 15 reps of the straight leg, and then 10 to 15 reps of raised bent leg, in and out, like so. And that's it. Simple enough, right? So you're going to run through all those exercises, like I said, 10 to 15 times a piece. Then you're going to rest for a minute, and then you're going to repeat. You're going to repeat at least 3 times, but up to 5 times. Now, I like to do this on days that I'm not lifting with my legs, so I will work this in as kind of like either my warm-up or my rest set stuff for if I'm working chest or if I'm working back or if I'm working shoulders, whatever I'm working that is not my legs, because this stuff is going to tax your stabilizers. That's the whole idea, the stuff that stabilizes you. So taxing it first and then moving from that into lifting heavily is not really the best idea, because you're already going to be fatigued with the stuff that's supposed to be bracing you when you're lifting heavy weights. All right, the idea is to avoid injury, not to increase your chances of injury. So if you are going to do this on leg day, what I would do is I would do your normal leg day warm-up, and then I would do your normal leg day stuff, and then I would finish with this, like your cool down if you're going to do it. And you'd be surprised how much different it is doing it post leg day versus if you're doing it on a day when you're not working legs, because you don't really understand until after you've done this how much you work your hip stabilizers. Now, if you have an imbalance, on one side or the other, like I know my IT band on my left side is my issue. If you have an issue on that side, still work the other side, because chances are, right now, this side is compensating for this side, so the chance of injury is increased over here. So I want to make sure that I work those muscles just as much as I work over here. Secondly, if you've got an imbalance here and your muscles are particularly weak on this side, chances are they're the same way over here, you just haven't realized it because you haven't had a chance to injure yourself there yet. So building strength on both sides is obviously very good. And of course, it's good just to be symmetrical anyway, because who doesn't want to be symmetrical? So that's it. Like I said, I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not a doctor. However, this is what I personally am doing to increase my hip strength, my hip mobility, and my stabilizers, all right? Because that's really, this builds the basis of everything that your lower body does. If you screw up stuff in your hip region, it's going to screw everything else up, as I've learned. So, thank you for watching. As always, remember to live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.
Listen!